What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Zach's Live Trader. Here with you, as always, I'm the People's Champ of Wall Street, the bearded boy wonder, Dave Bartosiak. And today, my friends, I decided to put on a shirt just so I could pop my camera and say hello. Look, you can see well this way, right? I think that's Robert Redford chilling behind me. You see the shadow of my lamp or fan, which is, I guess I could fix that with that, but that's okay. Just want to pop in here, say what's up real quick. Didn't really get the coffee going, so I'm rolling the dice here. This could be a terrible decision, and we're going to find out in a few minutes. Ready? Oh, I got it tilted wrong. Ugh. Oh, that's weird. Oh, you know what's happening? Look at that, guys. You see this? Does that can look weird? Look at that. You see that? Do you know why? I was messing around with the green screen in the other room, and now the can is green screened because it's green. So it's like green screening the can. Oh my god, that's hilarious. That's so funny. There's a way I could... that's funny. Let me fix that. Well, I'm going to take my stupid face off of here anyway, so it's going to fix it anyway. I just want to say what's up. So what's up? We've got, again, this is going to be a terrible idea. Nah, we're good. We got a lot to talk about, so let's get my stupid face off of here. All right. Now, what do we got going on today? Apples. We got Apple. Got a gap up. So, obviously, decent report from Apple. Guys, remember here in this live session, man, just there's no real structure to this. You know, it's not like one of the other shows. It's kind of wide open. I'm actually worried that the water guy is going to knock on the door. That's right, the water guy. Look at this. So I order, you guys know I love my tangents. I order water on October 22nd, like home delivery of, 15 gallons a month or whatever it was. Because down here in South Florida, it's not exactly, Chicago. So we don't have, like, Lake Michigan water. It's like water down in the water table that they find. So it's like runoff. So I'm not really interested in drinking Florida tap water. So anyway, order on 22nd. Initial date, the 27th. It's supposed to come. I don't hear anything on the 27th. Nobody comes. So then it gets to be Halloween, and I'm like, yo, where's my water? So I call them up, and they're like, oh, yeah, your date was supposed to be the 27th, and they said they couldn't find the route. So then they were supposed to come on the 30th, and then it also says we couldn't find the route. It's like, okay. Can you just have, when are they supposed to come? The lady's like, tomorrow. I'm like, okay, fine. Have a guy call me, please, so that I know when I should be, home, because I do things, guys. Like, I do things. Even though I work from home, I'm actually, like, alive and doing things. And then, they didn't come, of course. So then I call again yesterday. Same thing. And the lady's like, oh, they couldn't find the route again on Monday. I'm like, look, Elon Musk shoots reusable rockets to space, brings them down, and lands them on a drone ship in the middle of the ocean. And you guys, in your infinite wisdom, can't figure out what route my house is on so you can deliver water to it. I don't think she liked that very much. She sounded a little bit offended. Anyway, I still don't have water, and I still haven't gotten a phone call. But she said yesterday the guy's supposed to call me, A, and he's supposed to be here today, B. So with my luck, guys, we're going to hear ATF pound on the door when we're over here. Okay, done with my random story of the day. Apple. So obviously, decent day. The short out of the money put spread obviously looks good based on today's price action, because the implied volatility in that probably got crushed, and it looks great. Now, yeah, delivery water services, buddy. Like drinking water. Anyway, so Apple's got a little spike here. And remember, we really didn't know. We were just using fib extensions, guessing at where that potential resistance might be. So now intraday, let's look and see what's happening. Okay, so you can't be too happy. The dog's going to hang out with me today. He has decided. You can't be too happy about the early move if you are bullish on Apple, because you do have the gap up, and now you have this floor put in, and this VWAP providing a little bit of upside resistance. Keep an eye on things at these lows. So 171.12 at the low, then the high 174.26. Okay, so these are your obvious sort of ranges here early on. Beware of it getting into the gap. Now this is the thing, we've talked about this before, of this market, and we've seen post earnings trades like this, where you get a gap up and it pulls back, and then it gets back up, and then it does the little rope-a-dope, the stop grabber rope-a-dope. You guys remember that? So the market will poke just above a resistance level or push down below a support level. It tries to get all those people that are like, yeah, it's a breakout, it's coming, it's here. And then they try to steal your money. Oftentimes it's better, so in this case, let's say Apple goes to the downside, it's better to allow the price action to go down and then retrace back up before getting back short, right? Because we've been seeing a lot of these moves where it just kind of comes down a little bit and goes up, right? Now, the reason that we do this morning after thing is we're looking for big spikes that we could potentially fade, right? This is not a big spike. It's not. And I can already hear some of you like, what do you mean it's not a big spike? It's like $5, $6. Yeah, I mean, but you're talking about a $176 spike. You want to see a spike? You want to see a spike? There's a spike. 9% move in Arista Networks right now. %9 move in Arista Networks. Same thing though, guys. Interaction 1 with the VWAP, interaction 2 with the VWAP. This is the second interaction with the VWAP. Are they going to sell this? That might be a little, there might be a little fade there, boys. That actually looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. OLED. Let's see, we got an OLED spike, huh? Not as big, and note the interaction with the VWAP, right? Butted against it, now it's above it. I bet you this crosses the VWAP 100 times today. Maybe not 100 times, but I bet you there's a lot of interaction back and forth with this. The first, don't fall. Hang on, sorry guys. I almost dropped my stuff over here. Okay. All right, let me get back in the chair here. So, when you're looking for these kind of stocks, these kind of moves, it's tempting to just play the breakout, right? But like I said before, so specifically with OLED, if this starts to creep back up, chasing it. Remember, it's a Friday, right? So early on, shortly after the open, you get a lot of choppiness back and forth. And then really what you guys want to look for, the easier trades, are the ones where you go ahead and let the madness kind of take place. And then the real fade comes later on in the afternoon when, the buying power is stopped and then it just kind of fades off. Those are the easier trades. And, the retrace back to the VWAP. Those are a little bit easier too. So these are what you should be looking for. I think ANET might be a little easier to move around than this OLED. I don't know. Of course, you got to keep an eye on the rest of the market. So the Nasdaq's chopping around a little bit here. Opened up. Came back to unch. Now it's starting to mess around here. Funny how that works, right? So look at this, guys. The opening range. You draw fibs. Boom. 61.8. That means there's a target lower. That's what that means, guys. So ANET, fade it. Faded it. Faded it. What can we see on this? Okay, cool. Oh, that's right. There's no weekly on ANET. That's right. There's no weekly. Oh, darn. I was looking for a little weekly. But, you could go short the stock, I suppose. But, yeah, I think this is... I think this gets down $5 here. It looks like a pretty good setup, guys. Gap up, back down. See what I was saying before about don't necessarily play that first break of the VWAP. Like, wait till it's a comeback. It's just a lower risk trade and a more clear-cut risk versus reward, I think. CTRL. Oh, what's happening to CTRL today? Okay, these guys are off to the races. Woo! Wowzers. These guys are not stalling yet. So don't try to jump in front of that truck. Wow, CTRL. No, I bought this in Home Run a long time ago. I don't know how long ago it was. It might have been in here, maybe, right? I don't remember. Let's see. Can I see it? Update failed. Pull up the Zax. Get a little Zax. When did I get Home Run? Oh, maybe I shouldn't show you guys that. Sorry. I just realized I probably shouldn't be showing stuff you have to log in for. CTRL I bought June 12th, 1963. Bruno GBU's coming today. Studio guy wasn't in yesterday. He's not in today either. But because of that, I was slacking. So what's happening today? Plus, I've been messing around with this green screen, Bruno. But I don't think I'm going to use a green screen for GBU. You know who else has CTRL? Where's David? Where's David at? He's been holding on to CTRL, so that's good. This is, these home run stuff. It's just long. It's just a long-term play. So you can be patient. I don't know why, some of these stocks. So one of the best parts, probably the best part, in my opinion, of the whole Zach's ranking this situation, right, is not the rank, okay? This is an oversimplification, maybe. But it's also an indication of recent EPS movement, okay? It's not, so it's biased. So if you have a company that doesn't have a lot of coverage and the analysts don't talk about it a lot and move it a lot, it's going to be in these doldrums a lot. But this is why you can use this price consensus EPS surprise chart to really get some ideas. And with CTRL, look at the bottoming. Oops, I don't know what I'm drawing there. This crash down in earnings as the stock comes, and then the move out of it. So you can almost look at this as two different stocks. You got the old CTRL and the new CTRL. And the new CTRL looks great. Beat. And then look at the estimates creeping on up. I could probably connect these lines, creeping up. So it's moving in the right direction. So when you're looking for long-term trade ideas, long-term investment ideas, lean on this, the trajectory of this, okay? And further, when you're looking for short-term trade ideas, this is what I like to look for. I mean, this is perfect. So it's moving along with estimates. Something happened to spook it, and it comes down, right? But the estimates don't come down. So you have a divergence between the price of the stock and the earnings estimates. Now remember, P/E, right? The valuation. So when the stock is coming down like that, but your PE is going up because the earnings isn't dropping down, you got to ask yourself, what is the reason for this PE contraction? That is probably that sort of first derivative thinking is priceless. So look at these stocks in terms of PE and PE contraction. So if the price is going down, right? Let's just say we're just looking at a stock chart. Let's do this. Man, put some stank on it, son. So we can look at a stock chart and go, well, the stock's going sideways. Why is it going sideways? I don't know. Man, I don't know. Why is it going up? I don't know. Why is it going down? I don't know. Right? You don't know. You don't really know. Why? Because more people are buying than are selling. Why? Because more people are selling than are buying. Why are they selling? Could be a multitude of reasons, right? Now, some a little different though. We'll do trailing 12 PE. Of course, it's going to take forever. By the way, guys, the Monster for the morning, probably not a good idea. Not a good idea at all. Don't ever drink Monster on an empty stomach. Oh, man. Should have known better. Okay. I don't want to do Apple. Let's do CTRL. Really? I should have known better. I should have known better. I should have known better here. Well, this is absolutely useless. Give me a different stock. Let's go back to Apple. Okay. Maybe Apple will be a little bit useless. Red Bull vodka in the morning. Whew. I have to say, this is a terrible thing to do. The Red Bull vodka. I've done it. It's a terrible thing. What did I tell you? Hang on, guys. Give me a hot second. Pause. Incredible. Incredible. Water's here. Incredible. All right, guys. Let's get back to the charts here. So what we were looking at, we're looking at PEs on Apple here over long term. Got some of your trades look vodka induced, I bet. Well, sometimes that might help, guys. You know, sometimes that might help. You never know, depending on some of your trading. That was great. So, wow. That was incredible. So the guy, oh man. Hang on, we got to get back on this story. We got to talk about this. So the guy shows up, the water guy, and he's like, "Oh, hi." I'm like, Hey. I'm like, what's up? He's like, oh, yeah, so we're here. It's like, yeah, you are, man. It's like, we're not sure. Do you have empties to pick up? For it? I was like, nah, man. This is like a new thing. He's like, yeah, they don't tell us anything. I was like, I figured there's a terrible communication. Like, it's not the delivery guy's fault, right? They just do what they tell them to do. Like, they don't have any clue what the hell's going on, and they didn't even tell them if it was delivery or pickup or anything. So he just kind of looks at me like, yo, what? I was like, I need a water, 3 coolers, or a cooler, 3. He's like, okay, great. I was like, yo, I got stuff to do. Can you just throw it over there. He's like, yeah, I got you, no problem. And they did. Boom, no problem. So, not bad. The delivery guys themselves are cool. The company, terrible communication. Like, what kind of setup do these guys have that they're not calling their guys and just letting them know this is terrible? Terrible. But I have water. So there's a plus. All right. Now, sorry for that random distraction. But at least you guys got to listen to some music, right? Holy smokes. All right. What were we talking about? The bad ideas in the alcohol. Okay, this is good. I've had bad ideas with and without alcohol. Swatted nearly. Tap water coming. Yep. Red Bull Grey Goose in the evening calms you down. Oh, wow. Cold lime juice for the hangover. Trevor, you know what I actually have as a little secret for you? You ready for this? Pickle juice. That's right. That is a secret. That's a Polish secret right there. Pickle juice. Something with PE. I was talking about how you can find sort of long-term trade ideas. So this is what you do. Long-term investments, right? Great long-term investments. So you find something that has a good eyeball chart, right? You got like your eyeballing it and you're like, I like that, right? Let me try something else. Good eyeball, right? So you got this growth. You know what's the good one? Remember this? Constellation Brands? Sorry guys, snorting, coughing, and you know these Florida allergies. So this was perfect. Constellation Brands, nice bottom left to top right chart, and then look what happens. Into the end of 2016, you got this drop down here. It's like, what the heck? All right. So you can look at, let's pull up Constellation Brands. All right, so here you can see, there it is right there, this drop in the PE. Okay. Now this is trailing 12. So this looks back in the rearview mirror, right? As far as the E goes. So what they've already earned, and then this is dropping, and you know, why is that dropping? Okay. So now you want to look at, if you guys could look at forward PE, let's look at the next 12 months. This is more dramatic. This means more. If you have a drop in the forward 12 earnings, because who cares about what's already happened, right? This market's constantly looking forward. So when you see a big move in forward PE, this is when your value chops have to start drooling, right? You're like, well, why is this happening? So if at all possible, when you're looking at stocks for an investment, for the future, for a longer term trade, look at that forward PE. And if you see that forward PE start to come down, that might be a good indication that, let me clarify, forward PE coming down and the E not dropping, right? So some news event happens, forward PE drops, and there's going to be no impact on the earnings. So you get that boom, 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 and that's what happens, okay? So that's a way to find a long-term stock to make some money on. Now CTRL, perhaps the buying is running out of steam here. Remember guys, your VWAP You want to wait for the interaction with the VWAP. But yeah, 20% spike. That's pretty good. You guys still see me there? I saw I had a little disconnection, reconnection. Millennial. Talking about you. Talking about you, Mr. Millennial. Hefe. I've been having this thing with OBS where little lag, yeah. I don't know what's happening. I on occasion my streaming just kind of drops and then comes back in. Just drops and comes back in. Drops. Let's do it. AZ, we can do it right now. VWAP, little lesson on the VWAP. It's been a while since we did this. You're right. Let's go to 1 minute. Okay. So, AZ and others. This chart here is actually pretty close to the charts I used to use when I was day trading futures or something like that, right? So I've talked about this sort of market profile or this volume at price, similar sort of thing, right? And then the VWAP. So the VWAP is the volume weighted average price, okay? So think about that for a second. So that means, let's say, and we're going to do an oversimplification of this, and I'm also going to take off the 50 and the 200 day on this chart just to make it cleaner. So let's say you had 100 shares of a stock. No, even better. 50 shares of a stock, right? That traded at 50 bucks. And then you had 50 shares of a stock traded at 40 bucks, okay? Oversimplification, really. Now, if you were just looking at this in simple terms, there's a $50 trade, there's a $40 trade, you'd say the average is $40 or $45, right? $45. Average, boom, 45. But it's a little bit more scientific when it comes to the volume weighted average price, because you got 50 shares here at $50, which is 250 like nominal basically, and then 50 at 40, which is 200 nominally. I guess I'm just showing you a different way to calculate this. Okay, hang on, that's okay. So basically like 450 divided by the 100 shares. So you're talking, 45. Okay? Now that looks simple, right? But now what if you had 50 shares at 50, 30 shares at 40, and 20 shares at 30, okay? Well, now the simple average, I don't know why my just lines here is so bad. The simple average of these three is just 40, right? But this is going to be different because it's 250 here. 30 times the 40 is 120 here. 20 times the 30 is 60 here. So now you get this for a weighted average price of 43 versus 40. You see how that works? So it's adding more weight to the more volume at $50. and less weight to the less volume at $20. So that's kind of mathematically what goes behind this VWAP. So that's why this VWAP differs from the other moving averages, okay? And you'll also notice that this VWAP, this volume weighted average price, kind of always starts close to the price action. Because of course, it's early on in the day, and that's what's traded so far. And then as the market starts to move, this volume weighted average price kind of lags behind. Because more stock has been traded in here than's been traded over here, right? And you could see that too if you added the regular volume indicator. And note the interaction. So this much volume's at this price, and then this much volume's in this range, and then this much volume, you see? Boom, 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 boom. So then as this volume starts to accumulate, it takes more of a move to move the needle on the VWAP, right? Okay, so that's just the mathematics of it. The other thing you start to see when you're trying to fade these stocks, guys, start to look for the fade in volume. So we've already seen it. The volume's beginning to fade. That means the buying pressure is likely fading, and we might be able to get in and fade the move. Anyway, get this out of here too. Okay. So what happens kind of structurally behind the scenes of these markets is that mutual funds come in and they say, hey man, hey traders, we need to buy CTRL here on this move. And then as a result, they'll say, buy it at the VWAP or better. At the end of the day, the volume weighted average price is going to be sort of the midline between the winners and the losers, right? If you bought above that VWAP for the day, you're in the red. If you bought below that VWAP, you're in the green. Guys, I think the CTRL fade is now. I think this CTRL fade is setting up right now. Let's see what happens at the VWAP though. Anyway, so that's the story, okay? So you'll see that these stocks intraday have a tendency to interact with this VWAP. And it will tell you if there's still, a bunch of orders out here, okay? There's orders here still available. I wish it was time for a live trade, Jeff. I can't even pop off right now. Yeah, we can't even do it today. Moving expenses, my friend. I haven't been able to throw more into the funny money account here to show you guys. Okay. So anyway, so back to the VWAP. So you'll see the VWAP make its move. And then you'll note that at the end of the day, what will happen is the VWAP will approach the volume. We'll get closer to the volume point of control in the market too. Okay. Qs. Chop City. We got our fib move. This was our fib move. Where was our fib? Was this the fib? This wasn't the fib. Was it? Maybe it was. Kurt, you can't do it either way. There's no weeklies on it, and the puts are very expensive. So just going short the stock actually is the only way to play those right now, CTRL specifically. What we like to do is try to use weeklies on these fades. But you can use the put, but sell it intraday, right? Unless the other thing, Kurt, you can sell an out of the money call spread and cover it on Monday. But that's risky business too. Or cover it at the end of the day. But I don't think you're going to get as much bang for your buck out of that one. So look at this. Starting to chop its way up. See this wedge starting to develop here in the NASDAQ? The buying starting to come in. I think shorting this market is going to be a tough way to make money, my friends. Got to look for opportunities to buy the dip, I think, until you can't anymore. This might break out. I think things might be turning around. So that's the NASDAQ. Let's look here. S&P following a similar sort of pattern here. And again, this is on a lower volume sort of day. Yeah, Wild Bill, that's what I'm saying. It's just, I don't know, going out. Okay, so let's look at this, address this. So CTRL, right? Now I don't have the real time right here. It's Nat King Cole, buddy. You know, I got some Nat King Cole going on over here. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna sell a 30-35? I suppose you can even do this. Wild Bill, what's your delta gonna be today on this short call spread? I think that's what I'm hesitant about, because when you're doing those, so by delta, guys, what I mean by that is the change in the option spread or the option relative to the change in the price. Okay. So, like, if the stock goes up $1, oh, the spread goes up $1, and you're good. Versus, yeah, well, the stock's at 33. Sorry. So here, $2. 30-35 is $2. Oh. So these numbers are all whack, is what you're telling me. Well, that's great. But yeah, so if CTRL goes down $1, what's the effect on that call spread right now? It's not going to go down $1, right? So that's the problem that you're going to run into, is that the delta doesn't really sync up there, right? Because you still have time value in the stock, or in the option, sorry. So time value, there's still some implied volatility over the course of that next 2 weeks. So that's why. Much more fun when it's expiring today, because the delta is getting, closer to 1. Closer and closer. Oh, Activision. They didn't like that, huh? They didn't like it. Why isn't Apple much higher? Banks under Banks under pressure today, huh? Euro at 116. Yen ticking higher a little bit. Back to Apple. CTRL. Hey, look at this. AZ. Little spike in volume. When CTRL hit that VWAP. See that? And then now this time, second time around, the spike's not going to be there. Those buyers are gone. See? Or are they? So that's what you got to look for. This volume here, is the volume coming in to buy this? If it's not, lights out, son. Not lights out, but, you know, it'll retrace a little bit. So that's what you want to look for. All right, so CTRL, decent idea. ANET already south of the VWAP here. These guys are likely to trickle down a little bit. This might be a nice fade in the afternoon, okay? Especially, guys, you should be looking for 4-letter tickers if these things start coming down. Oop. Jeff. Is CME worth it? Wait for the fade. Let's do it. Let's do it, Jeff. All right, so we're starting to get a little run up in the forward PE on CME Group. So they're starting to expect something. You know what they're starting to expect? Starting to expect an increase in earnings because of those Bitcoin futures. You know what's going to be hilarious? When the CME has Bitcoin futures and then the SIBO busts out the Bitcoin VIX. Because you know that's going to happen. You know it's going to happen. Jeff, something I want to show you if you're worried about missing out or whatever. Let's look at the trajectory, right? So think about what the CME does. Think of what the CME does. Options, futures, right? Derivatives in general. Trading volumes are not going down. They're going up. These new products are going to create a lot of new interest. They're going to find ways to make a lot of money on these said products, right? And those 2018 estimates going higher. Beat, miss. So they haven't missed since 2014. CME is a fantastic company, and I think the stock over the long term is going to be great. Yeah. Here's the thing, Jeff. along the route here, what would have been the worst time to buy? Just go ahead and... Was this the worst time to buy? If you bought here, it took you, what, 10 months to make money. If you bought here, it took you a year and a half to make money, right? You see where I'm going with this. Pick the worst time, and eventually you're going to make money. So when you guys are looking for long-term investments, lean on this Zacks rank, lean on the price consensus EPS surprise chart, and lean on your own, not your own gut, but your own intelligence to find something. It's like something that you think is going to be around for a while. So go Peter Lynch with it. What do you see around you? You guys are trading now, right? So you see the CME. You know what they're doing over there. And then just think to yourself, is this going to slow down or is this going to continue? I think it's going to continue, and I think it's going to get better. So, well, that's the thing, is what I'm trying to hammer home, Bill, is don't find a long-term play of a stock that has earnings estimates pushing in the right direction that you believe in over the long term, and you buy it. And when it dips, you buy it. And when it goes up, you buy it. Don't get so fixated on this. I have to buy at the perfect time and then sell at the perfect time and then I'll make so much money. Nah, man. Find something with a long-term story. These are this is for your, your far out money, your investment money. Exactly. Traders aren't going to stop trading anytime soon. It's just going to get bigger. So the moral of the story is I don't believe there is a bad time to buy. Only a bad time to sell. So you got to look for these stocks that you guys think are going to go on forever. Look at NVIDIA, 207. Wow. Man, if only I would have... oh, wait, I did. That's right. I did. The coolest part about this is my first ever Bloomberg spot. I was two-handed bullish on NVIDIA. Yeah, we don't talk about scaling in Bill, and we should. We should talk about that. You know why? Because I haven't done enough of, and I'm starting to incorporate now a little bit more, is long-term investing strategies. I haven't talked a lot about that specifically in Live Trader because that's not what Live Trader is. Or at least not what it was initially. Now it's starting to evolve into kind of what I always wanted it to be. So, Bill, I think, you're going to see that. And I'm constantly talking about the evolution of Live Trader because I have an idea of where I want to take it, of what I want it to be like. And I'm hoping most of you guys stick around for the ride because I'm having fun with it, evolving it, but my idea is a little different. Let's change the music. How about that? Hang on. We'll change the music, then I'm going to come right back. How about that? Because this, where's my Metallica? We need some Metallica radio. Anybody? Throw out some other suggestions. So here, I got all sorts of crazy stuff over here. Let's do this. There's still YouTube lag, huh? Yeah, there is. Okay. I know, wins Twitch. Twitch is happening. Twitch is happening. It's happening. It's happening. I have it. I have it. I just haven't have it. Guys, I want this evolve. This is going to evolve into a thing where, like a guru on demand, right? So the way I see it is, whether you're a trader, whether you're an investor that's just starting out, whether you're, 60 years old, thinking about retiring within the next 5 years, whether you're a newbie, you're 21 years old, and you got $1,500 and you're trying to figure out what to do and you're interested in markets, I want to have different types of shows where everybody, little segments that they can learn about, right? So it could be like the newbie show, and we'll talk about newbie stuff. Trading, which is what Live Trader started off as, was kind of more hardcore trading. There's that monster that's got me burping. Then like investing, long-term investing, retirement planning, stuff like that. There's those burps. So anyway, so anything sort of on demand, so you always have a guy that you can ask questions about. Because you can watch videos on YouTube all day. You can read books. You can tweet at people, but the one-to-one sort of interaction of like, hey, Dave, what about this? Hey, what about this? Having a constant person guiding you. In a past life, I was sitting in a bank as a financial advisor. Not a banker. I want to clarify that. As a financial advisor. And then stockbroker. And then this analyst guy that I am now, because I'm trying to, if you notice, I still love talking to people and trying to help them out with things. But I hate, one of the things I can't stand about the advisory business is that the compensation structure, right? Advisors, if you're on a rap-based program, you're paying a percent and a half, regardless if it goes up and down or whatever. And some places, a lot of places do great. Let me just clarify this. There's a lot of people that earn their money with that. Trust me, and it's worth it. But there's a lot of places where they just kind of take it and then they ignore you, especially if you're lower. If you're, 50 to 250,000, you're not getting your 1.5% worth. It's just not happening. They're just kind of ignoring you, throwing you under the rug, putting you in a call center. A lot of places, no. So anyway, so that's kind of my beef with that whole thing. I would rather help people out holistically, like from the basics of investing, the basics of credit even, the whole way. So that's kind of what this is going to. So there you go. Because my idea is that you have this do-it-yourself world, which is kind of what we're in here. Here are the tools. Go nuts. Now, here at Zacks, we do a very good job of giving you the tools, but then kind of telling you how to use the tools and helping you out and that kind of thing, which I love. And then you have full service. But there's a huge gap in between that, right? There's a lot of people that don't need full service, and there's a lot of people who can't really do DIY. I think there's a huge middle point that's not being addressed. And that's what this is. This is going to address that midpoint, I think. And close the gap, right? Close the gap. All right. So there you go. Lots of nuances. That's right. Yeah, they act a little different. I'm assuming you mean GBU? I'm doing GBU right after this, just so you guys know. Immediately following, I'm going. ACIA. Acacia Communication. Oh, whoa, whoa, what's going on here? Yeah, this is no bueno. Here's like the problem. Okay, we'll do this. So fibs on OI and looking at Acacia. So we've got this selling pressure here because the earnings have come down so much. And now what you're looking for is the trough. So PJ, wait for the trough. And you haven't had the trough yet. Not just the leveling, but the trough. Okay, so here's what I want to tell you is that it's very easy to get caught up in this allure of I'm going to be smarter than everybody and I'm going to pick the bottom on this stock. You don't have to pick the bottom. You can wait for the earnings trough and you're still going to make a ton of money with much lower risk. So on a stock like this, wait to see that trough. And CTRL was a perfect example of that. Of the trough that took place. See? Down and then the trough. When both of those numbers really started to spike up, okay, and it started to turn around, because if you look at the stock price, there's the trough, and then it comes off of it a little bit, right? And then you have a much lower risk on your entry versus being the guy that's like, oh, there's the bottom, it's there, it's right here. No. Oh, there's the bottom, it's leveling off, it's there. No. There's the bottom, you know what I mean? You can be wrong many times. And I want to point out that this is much different. Buying a stock and legging into it while EPS is dropping is a bad thing. Those other stocks we're looking at where you're buying on dips as the earnings is going up, that's a good thing. And you want to separate the two of those. Fibs on AAOI. Well, I got a fib from this. Bloop, bloop. We can do the big fibs, though. I mean, this is just... This is not good. There's nothing good about any of this, just so you know. There's nothing good about this. There's nothing good about me stupidly running into the buzzsaw up there. Breaking down below this barrier is not good. It's not good. And now look at the... That was sort of the last gasp of big volume, too. And now we're south of this big volume. Yeah, see, Tracy? I don't know. It depends on what part of my diatribe you got in on, but yeah, I think this is a discussion we're going to continue to have in the future of this sort of what you want to see. And while I got your attention, I would like you guys, again, send recommendations to my email. Not just you know, hey Dave, let's do XYZ Corp, let's do ABC Corp. What do you want to see? What do you want to hear? This is a huge open format, and I want to give you guys what you want to see and talk about what you want to talk about. So some longer term stuff, some investing for the future, all of the above. I'm down. I'm eager. I will do it. And I want to help you guys. And I want to know what you guys are missing. Seriously, financial planning. I was gonna start taking my CFP back in the day, and then I was like, yo, this is stupid. I don't want to sell insurance. Just didn't. This is not my thing. So if you have questions about that, if you have questions, retirement income planning questions. Hopefully nobody here is retirement income planning while you're trading like madmen on this, because this is not retirement income. This is fun stuff, talking about these stocks, and the option stuff is exciting, and we will continue to do this because I love doing this. Kurt says, and Kurt's bringing up an interesting point now too, guys. When you're intraday trading, you still got to know about the big stuff. Still got to know about where the 50-day moving average is. Still got to know where the 100-day moving average is. You got to know about all this stuff. Yeah, PJ, you're going to be more interested in doing collars and some other strategies, covered call writing. Yeah, CFP is just blech. Blech. So we're going to talk about other stuff. Okay. AAOI, where do I see it falling to? PJ, AAOI is off to the land of dust and wind. We've broken big fibs. I have no idea where she goes. Where she goes, nobody knows. And now you're getting into a low volume area. I just don't know. We'll do that, guys. How about that? You know what we're going to do? We're going to do a little something called Financial Planning 101. That's what we can do. We can do that. I'll do a video on that for sure. And maybe it won't be a live thing. Maybe I'll actually do. Like I said, I got the green screen now, so I'm doing all sorts of fun stuff. We'll talk about the buckets of money, the tax control triangle, all sorts of fun stuff. What do you know about this tax control triangle, guys? Huh? What do you know about that? The non-qualified, tax-deferred, tax-free. You know about that. You get a little check coming in, and then you pay W-2, and it goes to the non-qualified, and then the growth. Yeah, I got all sorts of cool stuff, man. Anyway. Okay, well, I guess I've wasted enough of your time this morning. It's more than an hour. Wow, that thing really went. We were rocking and rolling today. So yeah, we're going to talk about some other things. I need to do GBU here. I will get you guys a GBU. It'll be here in a couple hours. I should probably eat before I do it. Now that I've housed this monster. So shoot those emails to Live Trader. Let me know what else you guys want to hear about. Guys, gals, peoples. Just let me know what you want to hear about. All topics. All things. I'm open book here. I'll see you guys in the chat room a little bit later on today. I also have to do the GBU, so I'm going to get that together for everybody. And, yeah, I'm going to see about this water thing that these guys just sent me. And we'll go from there. So thanks so much for coming out here on the morning after. I'm sorry we couldn't find better fades, but I think we found a couple of them. You know, next week we'll be rocking and rolling. So thanks so much for coming out here on Live Trader, and I will see you all later.